Have you ever wondered why relationships can feel so complicated? Why can someone make you feel so understood one day and completely misunderstood the next? Why can you love someone deeply and still struggle to communicate with them? The truth is, relationships are complicated because people are complicated. Every person you meet comes with their own experiences, their own fears, their own expectations, their own wounds, and their own idea of what love is supposed to look like. And when two people come together, they're not just bringing love into the relationship. They're bringing everything they've ever experienced. So navigating relationships isn't about finding someone who never frustrates you, never disagrees with you, or never hurts your feelings. It's about learning how to move through those moments without losing yourself in the process. Because a healthy relationship shouldn't require you to disappear. It shouldn't require you to constantly silence your feelings just to keep the peace. And it shouldn't make you question your worth every time something goes wrong. One of the first things you have to understand about relationships is that communication isn't just talking. It's listening. Really listening. Not listening so you can prepare your response. Not listening so you can prove that you're right. But listening to understand. Sometimes the person you're arguing with isn't actually asking you to fix anything. They're asking you to understand why something hurt them. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can say isn't, "I didn't mean it that way." It's, "I understand why it felt that way to you." Because intent and impact aren't always the same thing. You can have good intentions and still hurt someone. And being willing to acknowledge that doesn't make you weak. It makes you mature. But communication also means learning how to express yourself. Don't expect people to constantly read your mind. If something bothers you, say it. If you need something, communicate it. If you're becoming distant, explain why. If you're hurt, don't turn your pain into punishment. Because silence might feel like protection, but eventually everything you refuse to communicate becomes something the relationship has to carry. And that brings us to another important part of relationships. That's boundaries. A boundary isn't a wall. A boundary is a line that says, this is what I can accept and this is what I cannot. And sometimes loving someone means telling them no. Sometimes loving yourself means walking away. You can care about somebody and still recognize that they're not good for you. You can love somebody and understand that love alone isn't enough to make a relationship healthy. That's a difficult lesson, because we often confuse attachment with love. We think, if I can't let them go, I must really love them. But sometimes you can't let someone go because you're afraid of being alone. Sometimes you miss the version of them you hope they would become. Sometimes you're holding on to memories instead of reality. And sometimes the hardest thing to accept is that loving someone doesn't automatically mean you belong together. Relationships require compatibility. They require respect. They require effort. And most importantly, they require two people who are willing to participate. You cannot carry an entire relationship by yourself. You cannot communicate for two people. You cannot apologize for two people. You cannot grow for two people. You cannot keep sacrificing yourself hoping that eventually the other person will notice how much you've given. A relationship should be a partnership, not a constant negotiation for basic respect. But here's something else we need to understand. No relationship will always feel good. There will be disagreements. There will be misunderstandings. There will be moments where you're annoyed. There will be moments where you don't see eye to eye. The goal isn't to eliminate conflict. The goal is to learn how to handle conflict without destroying each other. There's a difference between saying we're going against each other and saying we're against this problem together. That's the mindset relationships need. Instead of trying to win every argument, ask yourself, do I want to be right or do I want us to be okay? Because sometimes winning an argument means losing the connection. That's not always worth it. But don't misunderstand that. Choosing peace doesn't mean accepting disrespect. Forgiveness doesn't mean pretending something didn't happen. Understanding someone doesn't mean excusing everything they do. And compromise doesn't mean constantly abandoning your own needs. Healthy relationships require balance. You should be able to love someone while still being your own person, have your own interests, have your own goals, have your own friendships, have your own identity. Because the healthiest relationships aren't two incomplete people desperately trying to complete each other. They're two people who are learning how to walk beside each other. And that's important because sometimes we enter relationships expecting another person to fix something inside us. We expect them to give us confidence, to make us feel valuable, to remove our loneliness, to constantly reassure us that we're enough. But no person can permanently fill a hole that you refuse to confront yourself. You have to learn how to be okay with yourself. Because when you don't know your own worth, you'll accept almost anything just to avoid losing someone else. You'll tolerate things you shouldn't. You'll shrink yourself. You'll become afraid to speak. You'll mistake anxiety for love. And you'll spend more time trying to keep someone than asking whether the relationship is actually healthy for you. So learn yourself. Know your values. Know your boundaries. Know what you need. Know what you're willing to work through. And know what you're not willing to tolerate. Because the more you understand yourself, the easier it becomes to navigate relationships without losing yourself inside of them. And remember, people change. You change. The person you love today may grow into someone different tomorrow. And you may grow into someone different too. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes relationships survive because two people grow together. Sometimes they end because two people grow apart. And neither automatically means that the relationship was a failure. Some people come into your life to stay. Some people come into your life to teach you. And some relationships simply reach their natural ending. You don't have to turn every ending into a war. You don't have to hate someone just because you couldn't stay together. Sometimes you can say, I loved you, I learned from you, I appreciate what we shared, but I have to keep moving forward. That's growth. If you're currently in a relationship, don't wait for some dramatic moment to appreciate the person beside you. Say thank you. Ask how they're doing. Put the phone down. Listen. Spend time together. Make them laugh. Tell them you appreciate them. Because relationships aren't maintained by one giant gesture. They're maintained through thousands of tiny moments. A conversation, a hug, a check-in, a little patience, a little forgiveness, a little effort, again and again. And if you're single, don't view that as some empty space in your life waiting for another person to fill. Use that time to build yourself. Because the goal isn't simply to find someone. The goal is to become someone who knows how to love and be loved in a healthy way. So when the right person comes along, you're not asking them to save you. You're meeting them as a whole person. Maybe that's what navigating relationships really comes down to. Love deeply, but don't lose yourself. Communicate honestly, but don't weaponize your words. Set boundaries, but don't build walls around your heart. Forgive, but don't abandon your standards. Give people grace, but don't give them unlimited access to hurt you. And most importantly, remember that a relationship should add to your life, not require you to sacrifice your entire identity to maintain it. Because the relationship won't make you perfect. It won't eliminate every problem. It won't guarantee that you'll never hurt each other. But it should create a space where both people can grow, where you can be honest, where you can be vulnerable, where you can make mistakes and learn from them, where you don't have to constantly wonder whether you're enough. And maybe that's the greatest lesson of all. The purpose of a relationship isn't to find someone who completes you. It's to find someone you can grow alongside while continuing to become yourself. So love people, communicate, listen, set boundaries, forgive, grow. And when you have to choose between keeping a relationship and keeping yourself, don't forget that you are a part of the relationship too. Until next time.